So I've been real focused on melatonin the last few days. So I was listening to this podcast earlier, and these doctors were talking about it, and the lady was like, melatonin is a great molecule. It's like a miracle molecule, but nothing outcompetes meditation. And I was like, yes, it's so true. It's so true. And I love when people turn it back into like, you are the supplement, you are your greatest strength. Because you'll find like you're going to listen about supplements, you're going to learn about things. Everybody's got something to sell. Everybody has something that is going to be your quick fix, your wonder drug, your wonder molecule, everything you've been searching for. But the only place where our strength truly comes from is within ourselves, and also in that ability, like if we don't have the ability to sit still and allow what is stored deeply within us to come up and to like process it, we're always feeling like there's something we gotta go do, or I'm not doing what I'm meant to do. And there's this disconnect from us and like our higher selves, which is, they say the higher version of ourselves is pure bliss and peace. And we come down here on earth to experience the split, the polarity, hell and heaven, those two sides of the nervous system, tension and relaxation, hell, or peace and relaxation, heaven. So it's very interesting. And actually, when you look at the molecule of melatonin, it is the regulator of those two sides of the nervous system. It's one of the biggest tumor cell suppressors. It also comes from the amino acid tryptophan, which is why I'm always saying it's so important to eat protein and animal-based proteins, because a lot of tryptophan comes from there. But there's so much within the biochemistry. Like tryptophan can also break down into a disease pathway, seen in depression and other disease states, inflammation, imbalances. So what type of environments allow the tryptophan to break down into that melatonin pathway? Because it also breaks down into serotonin. So a lot of people have gut issues, gut dysfunction. Serotonin is one of the biggest molecules responsible for gut motility and regulation of that. So tryptophan breaks down into serotonin, then breaks down into melatonin. But we can also make melatonin directly from the sunlight. Our mitochondria and melatonin are like best friends. Like mitochondria is best friends with everybody. Mitochondria is like a social butterfly. It just has so much energy within the cells. Like, do you need energy over there? Okay, I'm gonna go give it to you here. But as we decrease and as we get older, melatonin levels drop. As we also go into a disease state like depression or anything like that, melatonin also drops. So it's so fascinating to look into, like what I see a lot of the times is, or what people particularly are asking me is like, Rachel, what do you think about this supplement? And I always like to zoom out. And the first question I ask is, where are you already getting this supplement from? And then also like, think about how high your stress levels are. Because sometimes it's not about the fuel. You can't outrun this inability to sit still. Like, you can put the best fuel in the car, you can pump yourself with supplements and all of these things, and you can't supplement for that inner peace and that inner stillness. Like, it's just all something that we have to learn how to practice and work with. And I love the book Breath by James Nestor. That book changed my life. It also helped me to see meditation as it's not you're sitting down and trying to empty your thoughts. I think that is like one of the worst ways to try and enter meditation. No offense if you do that. For me personally, just like with A Course in Miracles and me being able to understand that through a biochemical lens, meditation also has a great biochemical lens to it as well. So one thing I've been doing lately when I start to sit in my meditations, how breath taught me it, was that just simply slowing down the breathing rate. like trying to intentionally take the slowest, deepest breaths. Because when you sit down and life is chaotic, thoughts start zoom, zoom, zoom. You know, you get the zoomies. And you can just change your breath instantly. And so something I started doing lately is I would just take a big deep breath in and hold it. I will hold it. Sometimes I'll feel lightheaded, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't recommend anything. Obviously this is entertainment purposes only. But I will hold my breath for as long as I can and then take the slowest, deepest breath out. I find that I'll also do this if I'm getting agitated or irritated with something, and the breath is our biochemistry. Our respiratory rate is our biochemistry. Our sleep stages as night, melatonin itself at night is related to that deep delta wave sleep state, that non-REM sleep state. And so, like, it's so beautiful when we slow down that respiratory rate, we go into our deepest sleep stage of the night. We slow down our heart rate, right? You're slowing down everything. If you're thinking about it, it's like you catch a fish, you're out there fishing, and you put that fish on ice. And so it's like you're not killing it, but you're slowing down its life, and it becomes slow and still. And that's basically us when we sleep. We're like fish on ice. Isn't that so cool? I like thinking about it and like a little analogies like that way. But all's it's doing, just like when we go to sleep, sleep is our biggest immune regulator. Melatonin is our biggest immune regulator. When we slow down and practice meditation during the day, just for like a few seconds, it's basically like going to sleep while being awake. It's so beautiful. And I still wear this Aura ring. It's dead. It doesn't give me any information. But when it was working, I was doing all these little experiments, of course. And, I'd sit down and go into a meditative state, and it would pick up that I was in light sleep. And sometimes if I was laying down on my back, completely laying down, it would pick up that I was in deep sleep, even though I was like consciously awake. Because it's all related to like relaxation. It's like you're touching heaven, relaxation. If hell on earth was tension in the body and being schizo, like relaxation is heaven on earth. Being calm and at peace in the body is heaven on earth. So it's not that far away, we don't have to wait to die to be in heaven, because it's right here. So anyway, that's what I was researching, melatonin. You should definitely do your own research, 100%. There's this other guy, I think his name's Russell Ryder. They call him the father of melatonin. He's like been studying melatonin for like years, decades, like longer than I've been alive. And he says that there's a few things that he says that I'll just leave with you so that you can do your own research as well. He says that it's a very safe supplement, that no known human has been known to overdose. I do think they say that it has nothing to do with feedback mechanisms, like it will not, perturb the hormones in any way, although I'm like extremely cautious of that, because everything in the environment influences us and how we feel. And I always go back to Mama Nature does not make mistakes, but man does. We make mistakes all the time. We trip and we slip and we get angry with people. Man makes mistakes. So I always have that first on my mind when I'm thinking about supplementation, is that Mama Nature, when she takes these molecules, when she takes the ingredients, she doesn't isolate it in nature. She puts everything in nature is so complex. The body is so complex. There's this movie out that I just saw. It's called The Story of Everything. Everything about the body is so complex. Mama Nature is so intelligent. So when she gave us magnesium, she didn't give it to us in a pill or a powder form. She put it inside of an egg. What else does the egg have? B vitamins, choline, A, D, E, and K, fats, protein, everything that we need, full amino acid profile in its perfect form, zinc, selenium, all these things that work together, because complexity is like, you separate us from the environment and we ourselves become confused. You put yourself in a dark closet and start blasting yourself with LED light at night, the body becomes confused. So we're meant to be a part of the complex nature, because we are complex, we're so beautiful. I think it's so beautiful. So anyway, I'll leave this here. You can share this with somebody if you're interested in that, if you think it will help them. Melatonin is also greatly reduced during depression, so mental health disorders too. This is something I'm very passionate about. That's why I started eating a lot of animal-based proteins. So if you feel low and heavy in your mind, if you feel agitated, which is a symptom of depression and dementia, buckle down on your nutrients, because our medicine, food is medicine, is so powerful. So anyway, I wish you the best of luck, and I'll catch you later.